We got Carter here. You got to catch his YouTube channel. You see it right there, Power Hour LSU, right here on YouTube as he breaks down LSU in the SEC. And right now, it's all about LSU in the SEC Western Division. They control their own destiny. And, one more shot at this narrative of the entire season. And, Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley were the hires of the offseason, of course.
Yeah.
The Lincoln Riley one, I don't think really stirred people up in regards to outside the state of Oklahoma in regards to, okay, that makes sense. USC needs a premium coach. They got him. That makes total sense. The Brian Kelly had its critics and detractors versus his people that obviously supported the decision. Then when they come out and lose a game against Florida State, and this shows you how fragile big-time college football can be. The Auburn game was teetering on the brink of disaster. The Florida game, they came back and made it a game. There were a couple points in the season where this could have went awfully bad. They kept it afloat. They kept fighting and grinding and getting better, and now it's come to fruition.
It has. And look, you give Brian Kelly a lot of credit. He's done a lot of things right. Obviously, the special teams has gotten tightened up. There's so many individual things that Brian Kelly has done, and he deserves all the credit. And on my live stream, I dedicated like the first 20 minutes of it of Brian Kelly making that decision to go for 2. He deserves a good chunk of, the positive juju for LSU to get things going. But honestly, before we wrap things up here, I wanted to, share some time talking about Harold Perkins. This is truly one of the best true freshman defensive talents we've ever seen in college football, any level. It's truly remarkable what he's done. And, he's getting a ton of Micah Parsons comparisons. And honestly, it's pretty accurate. What Micah Parsons did last year in his first year with the Cowboys is what Harold Perkins has done. And Mark, he's been arguably the best player defensively in the SEC this year. He's really been that transcendent. There's only a few guys I would take over him right now. Jalen Carter is probably one of those guys for Georgia, and Will Anderson was shut out outside of one big play early in the game. Perk has just been so good. He's been so good, and he has honestly transformed this LSU defense into something that honestly wasn't thought of, especially losing Mason Smith on the first drive of the game, the season versus Florida State. Perk is truly amazing, right? And when he was coming out, Mark, he was one of my highest graded players ever. He is like truly a transcendent athlete. He's got great ball skills. He's got great instincts. He's got great football IQ. I believe Brian Kelly described him as old school earlier in the year. He's just tough. He's gritty. And he is truly been the biggest difference maker on the defensive side of the football and arguably on the team because, Jaden obviously is the most valuable player on the team. He plays quarterback, but we knew Jaden was going to be a big part of this. Harold, who didn't play that much versus Florida State, they chose to not play him versus Tennessee. In all the other games, he's been a big piece. And notice LSU has won all those games. I don't think that's just a coincidence, right? He made so many big plays on Bryce Young this past weekend, and he's starting to really push himself into first-team All-American, level right now. So Perk has honestly been so big for this team.